For these awesome two-wheeled machines, the season-ending Castrol Edge Winternationals at Queensland's Willowbank Raceway represents that one last chance to top qualify.
It's fast there to number 1, 730.
To make race day.
Race day eliminations here at Sydney Dragway. Andra Pro Series action of the two-wheeled kind.
To go rounds. Maybe set a new performance benchmark in drag racing's field of dreams. To win a Winternationals, or to win a precious Andra Pro Series championship. In top bike, Chris Matheson is on the cusp of defending his Pro Series crown, with one eye also on trying to finally break that elusive 5-second frontier.
That definitely hands it to Matheson, and look at that number, 6:05 with that run, national record.
Pro Stock Motorcycle has seen strong entry numbers throughout the season, and the category is rewarded with a genuine three-way play for the right to be called the champion, which should leave us all on the Castrol edge of our seats.
Andra Pro Series drag racing involving two-wheel action, top bike and Pro Stock Motorcycle for the grand final. The Castrol Edge Winternationals here in Queensland. Looking at top bike, Chad, though, Chris Matheson again with one hand on that trophy.
He sure does, but having said that, Troy McLean has managed to push it to the last event, but Matheson is looking good for that championship once again. However, we do have a big field of bikes here, 12 Andra top bikes ready to go, and only 8 can make race day.
As for the tail in Pro Stock Motorcycle, Brian Ingerson's with a man with still a championship hope.
Former champ Peter Allen has helped his son Maurice work his way into the points lead for Pro Stock Bike Championship here this weekend. While Peter is no stranger to the pressure of competition, Maurice, it's all on your shoulders here this weekend. You're on the verge of picking up the title.
Look, we're not there yet. We're certainly in a commanding lead. We've had a great season. We've, the pressures sort of was off us a little bit after Perth, where we sort of hit the lead, and from there we've been able to maintain a nice little lead. And the Nitro Champs was a great meeting for us. We were able to capitalise on Andrew going out in the semi-finals. We won that meeting, and it's given us a nice buffer coming into this event. So we're extremely happy. The Milwaukee machine's going fantastic, and we just hope we're here at the end with the winner's trophy.
Well, speaking of Andrew, he's announced his retirement after this event, so I'm pretty sure he's keen to add one last trophy to the cabinet. What have you got for him here at the Winternat?
Yeah, look, it's always tough when you run Andrew, and particularly Trevor Birrell, who owns the bike. And I know Trevor's retired because he's sold the bike, and I know they've been burning the midnight oil, trying to come up with a tune-up to obviously give us a hard race. And it is going to be tough. I mean, as I said, it's not over till the end of the meeting, and we certainly, if the weather stays like this, we'll face off in the first round of elimination, so the championship right there will be decided. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great meeting if we can actually get out on the track and have a run, so we're looking forward to it.
It's been a successful season for you, and mixing business with pleasure as well.
Yeah, absolutely. My company, Speed Cycle, we're based in Melbourne. We import motorcycle parts for custom motorcycles, V-twins, but also more importantly the performance side of things as well. And so we're kept busy with that, and the parts that we bring in we use on the racetrack, and we use and test them to obviously pass on to our customers. So this is like a test bed for what we do at work, so it's great fun.
Well, it's the grand finale, and we wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much.
Nice crowd in, and here is the Pro Stock Motorcycle Championship picture, and this one is tight and exciting coming into the grand final round.
Gee, it's a big ask for both Andrew Badcock and Lachlan Island to turn around that kind of deficit. You get 100 points for winning the event. There are also qualifying points and bonus points along the way. As we see Ross Lemberg being pushed away from the start line.
A former champion in the grassroots categories, competition bike, Lockie Island. Oh, the front wheel off that primary racing line, obviously.
These bikes have horsepower that easily put a MotoGP bike to shame. They're high revving. We're talking upwards of 12 to 14,000 RPM. You're shifting 4 or 5 shift points in a pass.
Glenn Worcester, I think, Chad's going to be one to watch at this event. We've got side-by-side Hog's Breath machines.
Yeah, also out there with his teammate Gilbertson, 7:43 from Gilbo. After this first round of qualifying is top of the charts.
Trevor Birrell, this is his final event as an active team owner. He'll be tuning this bike for a new rider next season. but wants to finish the season strong. Troubles for White. The White bike, however, soldiering on.
Don't be fooled. And, well, even these numbers, I mean, Badcock is 7.92, won't be all that happy at the moment. That is a quick 7.2, 7.3 second bike to give you some idea, and he needs to be running those times. He's going to chase down Allen's championship lead.
Phil Bluey Howard, whoops, a fine instinctive rider. And instincts tell him there he's crossed the centre line.
Daniel Rabnott 7.65 and some suspect smoke. We've seen that bike hurt engines before. Here we go, championship leader, first crack of the racetrack.
Helmet cam on, Morris Allen, and there we are. Maybe a slight wheel speed issue off the start line initially for him. So Cruiser's on.
Hey, 7.59s, not bad numbers to be running at the moment. Like we said, first passing qualifying. The biggest issue at the moment, though, weather. I mean, it's closing it all around us. There's a lot of rain all around Queensland, to be honest. So hopefully we're going to get a few passes in qualifying in. Luke Crowley launching hard, but over to the centre line as well. Jeez, lucky that Bob Shaw was off it in the other lane.
I think a few bikes underestimating the tightness of the start line area here at Willowbank Raceway. Well, first session of qualifying is completed for Pro Stock Motorcycle and Top Bike. Ducking and weaving some tricky weather here as well. Final qualifying session it will be for Pro Stock Motorcycle, and there's some big names peeking on the outside looking into this top 8. One man is this man, Bob Shaw. Has shown so much potential, hasn't he, Chad, with that JB Automotive power plant?
Made the final at the Nitro Champs, the last round. Oh, a lot of clutch on that start line.
It just did not grip the start line well at all.
But at the moment, the way the field's looking at the moment, 9.06 might still be good enough. Lemberg, another guy who had problems in that first one, and Luke Crowley also on the outside looking in of this 8-bike field.
The busiest races in all of drag racing, so much to do. Well, the gesticulation say it all. How about Lemberg's run?
Well, again, 8.3 the parts for Lemberg. Crowley's was super ugly, but well, we'll have to wait and see what their end number is going to be. Daniel Rabnott back on track, and smoke hopefully still, that's just from the burnout still, I'm hoping.
And still troubles for Badcock. They're trying the new billet cylinder heads on that Dutch Master bike, and Rabnott with a lot of smoke and fume crossing the finish line.
Blue smoke as well, so ouch. Never good. It usually means oil, Dr. Dean.
Things that shouldn't be there.
Morris Allen, championship leader. We've just seen our number 2 man in the championship, Badcock, have troubles. Great time to come and lay down a big pass. Glenn Worcester on track as well, wrangling those handlebars.
Worcester getting engine support with Trevor Birrell. And there goes Momo.
Well, it's quick, but it's no improvement on that earlier 7.59.
Michael Gilbertson, Chad, would really want to finish the season on a high, as is this man. It has been a difficult championship.
Phil Howard for Superbike Performance, running out of South Australia. Has only been to the one final this year. This is all a bit ugly for Bluey at the moment.
Going through the gear shifts there and had problems early on, and more pain for Gilbo, Lockie Island.
Now, Gilbo's our number 1 man with a 7.43. Lockie Island trying. It looks quick. Is it quick enough? Just short. 7.57 though, good enough for the number 2 spot.
Our Auto 1 final qualifying summary. Gilbertson on top. Troubles in Q2 for him though.
Yeah, and still looking down that list, Badcock will have a lot of work to do.
The category that's really developed strongly this past season in the Andrew Pro Series is Pro Stock Motorcycle high revving, and tight finishes a feature.
The big matchup down the very bottom. Number 3 and number 6. 1 and 2 in the championship. If Morris Allen can take out that win, oh man, I'm looking for that. If he wins that one,
it's all
championship over. That's it. Forget about it.
Forget about it.
But, thanks, honey. If Badcock does manage to take a win there, he has to go all the way to the final and win it. And it'll be the narrowest of victories in the championship. But, first batter up, Phil Howard.
Phil Bluey Howard, Michael Gilbertson, a multiple champ in the Andrew Pro Series for Pro Stock Motorcycle. These engines are turning hard. just like their Pro Stock car cousins. Cylinder head technology, really important. Getting the camshafts just right to get maximum power at high RPM, as you're talking about before, in excess of 14,000 RPM.
Oh, Gilbo with a good light. Howard holds the record over Gilbo 3-1.
Gilbo got near the centre line, and that loss of real estate nearly cost him the race, but a whole shot win to kick off eliminations. That's what we want to see in this category all the time.
What's a whole shot win? This is a whole shot win. One there, forget about it. The race is over. That start line advantage, that 025 NZ light to an 088, the quicker reaction time helping him get to the start line, despite the fact that his elapsed time was that little bit slower.
Interesting, as Howard got onto the second seat there, he stood erect, upright on the bike, so not happy with the balance over the top half of the run. Check it out here, right of screen, the red bike. Yep,
yeah,
there he goes.
Stuck his head up for a while, and in a race won by literally hundredths, that could have been the result right there. We saw on the onboard how far the bike fell away when he did that.
Just wondering, maybe just a slight rattle unsettled him a little bit there.
9 thousandths of a second, the margin of victory then, by the way. Let alone hundredths. Closest race we've had all season long.
Glenn Worcester. And Daniel Ravnott, good to see he's able to front up after some smoke issues in qualifying, that final qualifier. Oh, Worcester, you want to tighten up, tweak up that reaction time, but Ravnott off the racing line.
Glenn Worcester, first win of the season, a 794, and one of the more ugly pro stock bike drag races we've seen this season.
We haven't seen many of them this year, have we?
Watch this for Daniel Ravnott. First things first. Which direction is this tyre pointing? It's just going all over the place. He's going to join the Superbike ranks after this race meeting. All over the show.
Bob Shaw and shake of the head from the Lucas Motorcycle Oils machine, and he is a contender. Contingent, of course, on what happens in the next pairing, of course.
Technically in the championship hunt, but not anymore, and that is not how you want to go losing a championship. That is harsh.
That's a bad way to end your season. It's been a great season for Lockie Island. Bob Shaw has impressed. Everyone in the paddock is talking about how well this veteran is riding this motorcycle. A soft NZ light, no pressure off the start line, on the virtue of a solar.
Jeez, and now we're talking numbers. Low ET of the event so far, numbers 742.
And here it is.
Hey. Okay, tail of the tape. Badcock holds that record over Morris Allen 2-1. And a better NZ reaction time, a 101 light to 148. And man, he needs every bit of that right now because the Milwaukee bike has been quicker this weekend, Dean.
Yes, Momo been impressive. How about this for Trevor Birrell? This bike, the new engine, the billet heads. He even told me the dyno figures. 295 horsepower, 148 foot-pounds of torque. How
That's
impressive
big.
is that? Out of a motorcycle, naturally aspirated.
Here we go.
Oh, it's tied off the start line. Is Freddie going to keep his championship defence alive? He has by the narrowest of margins. That is one of the best pro bike races we've seen this season. Right there.
Absolute belter. Either racer could have sealed on the start line. Lazy lights on both sides. Both 0.1 lights. You want to be getting them way under that. If Morris Allen had cut a better light, then he could have wrapped up the championship right then and there. Oh, it's up to Badcock now. If he can go on and win the race meeting, he'll win the title.
Andrew, that was a championship chasing run there. You came out on top, but you've still got some work to do to claim that title.
Yeah, that was the first big hurdle to try and get over. I didn't know how we were going to go. Morris is tough to race. We have the closest race I've ever had in my whole career. Dynamite to get through that first round.
You've announced you're retiring from the sport.
Well done, buddy. Good one, man. Good one. Yeah, thanks, man.
You've announced you're retiring at the end of this event. How much would it mean to get one final gold Christmas tree before you retire?
It'd be unreal, but back-to-back championships would be a dream. It really would. Like we've struggled a bit this season. We've been trialling this new billet engine, and that's a bit of a taste of what it's going to do. And I know it wasn't even running sweet on the top end of that run, so it'll go fast here.
Andrew Badcock keeping the dream alive. Can he go all the way, win the Winters and win the title? Stick around.
Dave Morris Allen aboard the Milwaukee Suzuki still after that very, very tight first round loss. Things from here, Mo, out of your control.
Yeah, look, at Chad up until then, you know, it was up to us to take the fight to them. I mean, we're the leaders, so they've got to do the chasing. But at the end of the day, from here on in now, it's out of our hands. It's you know, it's in the lap of the gods, as they say. You know, good luck to Trevor and the guys. They've had an up and down season, and they're obviously finding some form late in the season. That was a great pass. I mean, you know, for us guys, it was side by side run. You know, we'd have liked to have gone a little bit quicker, but given that we've had no time for qualifying or testing, you know, we've all just had to look at the data, go back to what we know, put a tune-up in it that hopefully at least gets you down the track. And look, that's obviously what we both did, and, you know, we weren't far off each other, you know, in terms of performance. And, you know, it's one of those things, you know, without obviously any runs on the board, you're just throwing a dart at a dartboard, really, and there's always next year.
Well, Morris Allen will have the very arduous task of standing there, watching the semi-final. If Andrew Badcock can win that, then go through to the final, he'll be there again. If Badcock can win that, this guy will be runner-up by a solitary point. A long way to go.
The semi-final picture here at the Castrol Edge Winternationals, Chad. Some great matchups.
Well, Gilberts and Worcester, the two teammates, that's a bit of an interesting one. Bob Shaw looking to go to his second ever Andrew Pro Stock Bike final, but he'll have to do it over a very, very hungry Tasmanian in Andrew Badcock. Former Tasmanian, we'll say, because he's recently made the move up to Queensland. First things first, let's get the battle of the hogs out the way. Not hogs in a Harley sense.
No, hogs as in yummy ribs and steak. I'm hungry. I always enjoy checking the local one out here at Ipswich near the venue here at Willowbank Raceway. Michael Gilbertson.
And early the season, then we're talking about the floods that this area's had, and that was one place that certainly copped it along with the rest of Ipswich. Seeing the fact that we're actually racing here this weekend, pretty amazing, really. This area got fairly battered by the weather back in January.
There'll be no team orders here, and it is amazing to see that we're here after the setbacks in this part of the world. Semi-finals away. Oh, killer. NZ Light. Gilbo popping a cherry.
Yeah, man. Worcester pulling out an 013 when it counts, but it wouldn't have mattered. Gilbo, what on earth was that? A giant red light.
7:59. Positive progress too for Worcester. The Hogs happy regardless, no matter what the outcome.
Gilbo can't believe it.
Looks like it got dragged through the start line there. No.
Man. Jeez. He is disgusted with himself as well. To lose to his teammate like that, he's cursing himself.
Sums up his frustrating season.
He actually pulled the kill switch out of the bike there as well, in disgust, I think. There, you could hear it go dead.
Now, Trevor Birrell's wrapped because, as I said before, he helps out on the engine program for Worcester, so he's delighted. And speaking of Trevor Birrell, consider this, Chad. He started drag racing in 1982. He's participated in 20 consecutive Winternationals events. He's had 8 consecutive finals up to 2002. He's won 13. He's been in 13 finals for 8 wins and 4 runner-ups at this event.
Jeez.
There you go. I know you're the stat man, but how about that? I have to thank Lex Swain for that, actually.
And
good write-up on Trev.
He'll have another bike going through to a final here. Andrew Badcock. Well,
Whoa.
Bobby Shaw was a no-show, and hello. Low ET. Oh, no. How's the look on Morris Allen's face and Pommy Pete's face? They can't believe that. This bike is looking super quick. This man could be about to lose the championship by a point.
Well, smiles all round, Andrew. One step closer to that championship, but there's still one tough run ahead of you.
One more to go. It's starting to show some more potential with a bit more fuel there, and it's started to work. So, yeah, hang on for the final.
We sure will. What would it mean to you to get the final in what is effectively your last run out?
Yeah, it'd definitely be a good way to end things. It's we didn't think we'd get this far this quick, but no, great. I'm really looking forward to it.
Pressure's going to be on, and I can bet there's one Maurice Allen who'll be standing up the start line hoping that you don't win.
I think he's chewed his fingernails almost down. I think I couldn't even see any left there when he was standing on the start line before, so it's the final's going to be fingernails gone.
A fascinating end to the season. We wish you all the best. Thanks Andrew.
A lot. Thanks again.
Race Pit Report time now for the Pro Bike guys, ready for their final, and would you believe it, the heavens are starting to open up on us. It's a bit of rain, but hopefully we're going to get this one in. Glenn Worcester sitting here patiently for your first ever Pro Stock final.
That's right, we're here, I can't believe it. Chad's been unreal, you know, put the elbow out, man. I just, 2 Hogs Brett bikes there, just played the waiting game, see what happened, tried to cut a light, and we went through, so it was all good.
The big thing here for you though is you play a massive hand in the Pro Bike Championship here.
It's all hell's broken loose, so to speak, with Freddie here, because we all get on really well, and he needs points. I'm trying to get a tree, you know, it's all happening. Yeah, so we'll have to work it out on the line, hopefully, if this weather, lets us. So
I don't think he's listening right now. Any secret? Oh, he's listening. You got any secrets that you don't want him to hear? You got any special plan?
Oh no, look, just go out there, do the thing, do what we've been doing. It's been working, so hopefully the bike behaves and try and get one on the board for the Hogsies team. So yeah.
All right, well let's go have a chat with the man they call Freddie, Mr. Andrew Badcock. Mate,
how are you, Chad?
This is a little bit of a big race, isn't it? Championship on the line.
No pressure or anything, is there really? Just easy going.
Just to make things a little bit more exciting, your last race and Trevor Birrell's last race.
Yeah, it's a bit of a big one for us, so we want to try and go out on a high. We came up with a new engine this time and thought we'd give it all we had and see what it can do, and it's starting to show some potential now. So it's all sort of win every which way for us, because this is starting to go. We're going rounds, we're catching in the championship. We've had a couple of mishaps through the season and it's sort of got us down in the points, but we're looking to try and clean that up now.
I'll tell you what a massive race. This guy right here in his first ever Andrew Pro Stock Bike final, and this guy in his last ever Andrew Pro Stock Bike race, hopefully going to win a championship, hopefully if the rain stops.
We're crossing our fingers. Hopefully finals action after the break at the Castrol Edge Winternationals in drag racing motorcycle action. If you like your motorsport action on 2 wheels, Andrew Pro Series delivers it in spades with both Pro Stock Motorcycle and Top Bike. Unfortunately, we're getting set, elbows up for a big final in both categories, Chad Nailon, but it's not to be. The weather has had a big say in proceedings, unfortunately.
We were so close as well. Everybody was up and ready for the finals. Those 2 categories, Pro Stock Bike and Top Bike, but I'm sure you can see right behind us, it's absolutely teeming down with rain. The track is completely wet. Absolutely no chance of running those 2 finals that we wanted to see, which means, of course, that Morris Allen will win the championship by virtue of the fact that we can't run that exciting race that we had planned between Badcock and Worcester. But we got something else planned for him, Dean.
We certainly do. If you like quick passes down the quarter mile, and I know we do, Chrome have offered terrific prize incentives. They've come on board as a big supporter of the Andrew Pro Series this season. Let's look at the quickest passes in both Top Bike and Pro Stock Motorcycle over this past season.
So Andrew Badcock cannot afford trip up in this first round, needs the points. Oh, grabbed off the light.
Good line too. Unfortunately, that's where it's going to end. He's out of business. Badcock gets the win, 7.275.
Trevor Birrell was walking around quite antsy after that signage incident because there's no airflow over the engines. They're getting quite hot. And speaking of engine heat, new race pack data on the Dutch Master bike. It doesn't seem to be hurting the performance of the bike though. 7.27. The Dutch Master. Harvest Time Hydroponic Springwood Suzuki machine. Getting a little closer to the centre line. The Milwaukee Batteries bike thereabout as well. Badcock, 7.25.
Well, the final Chrome order, and thanks to our friends at Chrome for providing the great toolboxes as prizes. And I must admit, I was a little surprised to see Andrew Badcock filling this list, because there were some huge passes from, of course, Morris Allen, who ended up being our champion this season. But Andrew Badcock, the quickest, 7.25, the best of them.